Hello everybody, welcome to the new Flower of the Month launch, which is Cosmos. Now, I know it's all been very long awaited. New studio, cool isn't it? Isn't this nice? So a new setup, got a desk and everything. Isn't this, I'm quite excited about this. So we're going to start off with the Minecraft studio. So we've got a little laptop here instead of the normal PC. So we've gone all new singing, dancing things, technology. Let's just hope I can drive it. So we're going to go straight over onto the USB because I want to be able to share with you everything that you're going to be getting with this beautiful Flower of the Month Cosmos. And it is gorgeous. The lovely David was telling me a little story, given that you probably are all aware that we're a little bit behind with our filming. His lovely Cosmos, we're in his garden. We've had the snow and it's all flattened it. He was sad. He was very sad this morning. He says, all my Cosmos has all been squashed. So here we are. Look, all these colourways, aren't they gorgeous? So you're going to get the buds as well. So not only do you get the actual main flower, which is here, so this element here, so that's the main flower as such. You also get the Build a Bouquet version as well, and we break it all down for you into the extent that you get the bud, you get the flower without the detail, because you can see that this one's got a little bit more detail on. We've given you a bud, different version, it's a little bit smaller, almost like it's a newer, younger floral. And then also down here you get the leaf, and then you get the bud with the leaf as well. So if I just, and I've not had this select all button before, I'm quite liking this. And then over here on the individual pieces, you can bring in and build your own bouquet, as well as, let me just hold this and drag this down. There we go, you see, all the originals. So it's really easy to actually start building in something quite special, especially when this is all just very easy. All I'm doing at the moment is bringing things on to make something of an image. So I've brought that bud on, but I've got my stem here. So if you just, whatever's highlighted, make sure it's highlighted and your little boxes are on here, right click. And I'm going to go to order and I'm going to send it to the back. So send to back. So it's right at the back. Now the stem is hidden, so I can move it over a little bit. I could even copy and paste this. So I've got an additional one. Change the orientation a little bit. Again, right click, order, and I'm going to send to back and bring this in here, because we've got all these new flowers growing. And then again, this one, if I right click, as well as being able to send it, order it, we can also flip it. So I'm going to flip, not that one. See what I mean? You have to have the one highlighted that you need to there we go, let's put that back there. We're working on this one. So we go to order, group in, flip, and then swap it over. Now I've got one that has changed. I'm going to send it to the back. So order, send to back. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller and rotate it slightly. And then I can tuck this in down here. And I don't mind that it's behind the greenery, because at the end of the day, when you're working with florals, they do go behind the leaves, okay? They're not always forefront. And then again, all the additions, you've got the lovely bud that I can bring in. Let me just move that up here, rotate it slightly. And that is a full little bouquet that then can be a whole topper. Now, if you want to move this, obviously at the moment, they're all individual pieces. So if I come away from it, right click, hold it down, I can drag a whole box over the top of this and group it. Now I can move that and manipulate it and use it in any way. So I'm actually going to just pop it here to the side for in a moment. And I want to change the orientation of my cardstock, because that's how I have to think about this, because the digital crafter actually isn't, I'm still actually quite new. So let's go to print, and I want to just flip that cardstock around. Try again. There we go. Pop that to the side. Now we're working on here. And what I want to do is actually create myself a whole card blank and some backing papers. Now, I'll firstly show you the backing papers, and then I just want to literally show you how you can turn it into a card blank. But the backing papers are the forefront because I want to use it with the other the SVGs, etc. So not only do you get your seam building, which is how I made the bouquet, you also get the reflections. So if you have got the dies and you've bought it as a full collection, you will get the reflections as well, which is brilliant. So little tip that Diane has got over 11 hours of education on our YouTube. So you can make your own reflections if you want to, just by snipping these out. Maybe you go to a crop or to a craft club or something and you need to make something for everybody to be able to work with. You can do that. So I'm just going to remove that off. So you get all of the colourways, which again is one of the really lovely things about the Minecraft Studio, is that you haven't then got to go and buy the colourways separately. You're actually getting them included, which is brilliant. Then, of course, you get the digi-stamps. Now, the digi-stamps are just as lovely because you've got all the detail in. Now, maybe this is going to be a colouring book, or maybe you want to do something that's quite muted. Now, a little top tip for you all that I learned just recently, which I thought was phenomenal, that I wanted to share with you all, is at the moment that's quite grey. Now, it's almost like it's second generation stamping. Now, if I just right click, press copy, right click and paste, it makes it darker. It's been stamped in a darker ink. And I can do it again as well. So I can paste over and it's gone even darker. So if that first one is a little bit grayscale, and I'll show you the difference because I'm going to bring this on here, look. There's a noted difference in the two colourways. Okay, so if you do want to darken them up, just copy and paste them on top of one another, and that's exactly what it's going to look like, which is brilliant. And that was a top tip I learnt loads from working with Diane just recently. I thought that was brilliant, so I wanted to share that one with you. So select everything and remove. Oh no, press the undo key. That's my favourite one. See, never panic, you can always undo. So again, I'm just going to delete off the ones that we don't want. Isn't it clever that way? You can darken it up and make it look like it's first and second generation stamping. I thought that were brilliant. So then also you've got your textures, and these textures are beautiful. And again, the textures have been picked to work directly in correspondence with your florals. So you're going to get a light and a dark of the colourways, so you can then have tonal backgrounds and backing papers, which is just really, really clever. Now, I'm going to get rid of those because I want the pink, okay? No, undo. See, I'm trying to rush in, don't rush. So now I'm going to bring in the paler pink, and I want to rotate that round because eventually what I'm going to work on, and this is quite important when you're doing this, if you do turn them into your cards, is that you've got to imagine that this is now your card blank that you're working with. So everything you stick on is at this side because you're going to print it. You're going to score down there. That's the back of your card. This is the front of your card, okay? So what I also want to do now is open up seam building because I want to add a ditzy background onto the top of here. So I'm going to pick up, I'm going to go with the white one, little white flower, and to make it really tiny, just where you get the double arrowhead and on the corners, you change the aspect ratio so it changes in the correct order. If you just use the top, middle and bottoms, it elongates it or makes it wider. This one keeps it so it actually makes sense, if that makes sense, doesn't it? And I hover it over the end here, and I've not got it on the page, and I've done that on purpose. And then we've got this fabulous little tab here that says tile. Now, as long as you've got that highlighted, click tile just once and everything's gone darker grey. If I now get hold of this, I can now duplicate that lovely little floral. And then here, I'm going to drag it all the way down. Now I've created myself a fabulous little topper, but I'm going to click tile again. So I'm not going to then alter that. That is going to stay the same. But I now want to go into effects, because I want to have them a little bit more, not quite as bright. I'm going to take the opacity out of them. So I'm going to soften them off a little bit, which is lovely. Then I'm going to go back to my files, and I'm going to just group this particular one together. If I just do that, will it? No, it won't. So group like that. And I'm going to group. So now that's one piece of paper. And I'm now going to go into my lovely floral, this larger one. Click on it, make it smaller again, but not quite as small. I'm going to pop it back over the top. Now it's highlighted. I'm going to go to tile. I'm going to tile that over the top of it. And it is slightly bigger than this, but that's okay. I'm happy with that. And then again, go to effects, go to the opacity and take that down as well. So I've now got this lovely 2-3 shades going on in the background. So click tile again. So I'm switching the function off. Go back to my file, over the top, and I'm now going to group that together. So that's now one piece of paper. Now, if I was to bring this on here, just bring it to the front. So I'm right-clicking, go to order, bring to front, and that is my topper. It's kind of lost with what's going on in the background. So we need to change this. So I'm going to go to my digital punch, into my basic shapes, and I've got a circle, which I'm happy with. I'm going to bring that on here because, again, we can manipulate the shape. So I'm going to make it a lot more of an oval, like so, like this. And I'm just going to lay it in the middle. And I know that is nowhere near big enough for what I'm working with, so I can just drag that out a little bit. Okay, now over here at the top, we can keep the inner or keep the outer. I actually want to keep the outer. So this, pretend you're using it with a die cutting machine and you've laid your oval die on here, and we're going to cut an aperture. Okay, now we have to remove that out the way, because if we leave it on there, it will print it. I'm now going to bring my design in, and I'm going to have to lessen that off because it's not going to fit. There we go. So I've actually created myself, highlight this, go to my home key and delete the oval because I don't need that now. If I print that off, that is now a whole card, okay? And I can just group all that together like so. And now I can use that as one piece, which is fabulous. But it is, you know, you can see through it. So if I now wanted to add in another colourway, so let's go back to our textures, and we've got slightly different hues. Remember, we can actually change these as well. If I bring this one on, okay, I'm going to rotate it round. There we go. Pop it on the sheet of paper. Obviously, it's hidden everything. But if I now right-click, go to order, send to back, it now adds a different colourway underneath as well, which again is brilliant. That's it. But that is really easy. So now I can group all that together. I can print it off. I can even add another little cutout here where I can then have a stamp if I want, or write on the Minecraft Studio, handmade by. And then I've got a whole load of noteless ready for me to use. But I actually just want it as a backing paper. I just wanted to make sure that you could actually turn this into a proper card that you could print rather than it just being a backing paper. However, I just needed it as a backing paper. And then, so all I'm going to do is just press undo. And it will take it back, all the way back. So it's removed all of that. And I've got this back, right back to what I needed of it being a backing paper. And that's what I printed. And I have them here at my side. But I also printed some additional colours as well, because I need these for when I do the actual scan and cut. So I've printed out the green. Look at that, isn't it lovely? You can already see where the project's going. So that is my green and the pinks, because like I said, you get the colour hues with the Minecraft Studio, which again is really lovely. So you've got the colour family that will work. So not only have you got the lights, you've got the darks that will all work together, or you've got the two that will work. So you can either go all pastels and have everything a pastel tone, or you can go a dark and a light of the same colourway, which again is fabulous, isn't it? So those are my pinks, and then these are my two. Now, what I did here is I chose to actually print one out with the backing paper of the paler one, and then I also changed the colour background and did it. So now I have got 4 backing papers that are all tonal and will all work together. So that is where we are with it. So I hope that's given you a little bit of education. Of course, you can then take it further and actually add in the composition that I showed you and turn it into a full card. But this is what I need ready, printed off for our next little bit of education for the Cosmos Flower of the Month Scan and Cut. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope to see all your inspiration. Don't forget, we're on YouTube as well, so please subscribe. Click that bell notification that's fully coloured in, and you're not going to miss any of our education from any of the team here at Highlight Crafts, and you'll get to see lots more fun as well. We'll see you all again real soon. Thank you for joining me. Bye.
If you want to see more from Highlight Crafts, make sure you click the like button. Subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below, and click the bell icon to receive notifications of all of our future content. You can also click here to see our latest video, or click here to see more videos like this one.